The Black Forest, a name that evokes more than just images of tall pine trees and a sky cloaked in endless gray. It's a name that stirs something deeper, a shiver of ancient memory, a tug at the collective unconscious. And while these accounts are often dismissed as folklore, they share eerie consistencies across time and culture, as though it hides not just a physical place, but a boundary between realities. Located in the southwestern region of Germany, the Schwarzwald, as it's known to locals, stretches across nearly 6,000 square kilometers. From afar, it appears serene storybook villages, winding roads, thick fog creeping gently through the hills, through buried truths, through whispers echoing between dimensions. But there's another layer one that resists logic and dismisses modern understanding. Over centuries, the Black Forest has become the cradle of countless legends, disappearances without explanation, mysterious lights moving without source, disembodied voices whispering from trees older than memory. What if these stories were never just stories? The Celts believed that the forest was alive, not just in the way trees grow and rivers move, but with intelligence, will, and presence. What if they were fragmented memories of something real, something ancient, that we've collectively chosen to forget? Some built small chapels. Others created outposts to convert the rural populations. But most who entered deeply into the forest returned changed or not at all. One monk, Brother Anselm of the Abbey of St. Odoir, wrote, "In the dark I heard voices not of men, but of something older. Their language bled into my bones. I knew not their words, but I wept." Tacitus, in his Germania, described the forest as a dark and endless tangle, where gods walk silently, not needing worship to make themselves known. Described as orbs, flickering lanterns, or swirling fireflies, they seem to respond to human presence. Some say they lure wanderers deeper. Others believe they guard something sacred. This journey will lead you through shadows. Instead of claiming it, they built roads around it. Strategic detours. Entire legions took the long way. A drop in temperature. The forest stills no birdsong, no rustling wind, just silence. Ancient observatories aligned perfectly with stars that have since shifted in the sky. Local archaeologists often dismiss them as primitive tools. Tall, human-shaped silhouettes, darker than the night around them. Step toward them, and they vanish. Speak their name, and the forest answers back. Yet none can explain how they arrived here, nor why. And the occult launched several classified expeditions into the Black Forest. Their mission, to locate natural portals. Gateways. The goal? To interact with what they believed were dimensional tiers, weak points in the structure of space and time. Some accounts claim that even Himmler himself visited a remote site near Lake Mummelsee, Assa, location still considered energetically unstable by modern mystics. And if you listen carefully, you may hear the forest whisper your name. No bodies were found. Only malfunctioning equipment, bent trees, and a scorched stone circle. Let us begin. Long before the Germanic tribes settled in the region, the forest had a name in hushed Celtic tongues. Terra Umbrae, the land of shadows. They feared it, revered it. Sacrifices were made at the forest's edge, not to protect themselves from what lay within, but to ask permission, to be seen and spared. Their experiences vary, but the patterns remain. GPS devices fail, not as metaphor, but in form. Wanderers have reported encountering dead loved ones. Doppelgangers. Children have spoken of old women with no eyes who offer riddles in exchange for names. Batteries drain within minutes. Maps become useless. Known trails vanish, only to reappear hours later. The Romans, too, encountered this fear. And despite their empire's reach and military might, they avoided the heart of the Black Forest. Using mediums, EMF devices, and even remote viewers, they've detected anomalies unlike any found elsewhere in Europe. a field of consciousness that reacts to emotion, intent, and memory. One group reported entering what they described as a bubble of altered time, where 1 minute passed inside while an hour passed outside. Others have heard humming deep beneath their feet, like ancient engines still turning. There are fragments in their writings, accounts of eerie chants at night, of soldiers vanishing during routine patrols, of strange lights dancing above treetops. Centuries later, Christian monks attempted to bring the light of civilization to the forest's edge. Not metallic gateways or ancient ruins, but vibrational rifts accessible not through technology, but through consciousness. Not just reflecting the outside world, but reflecting the mind of those who enter. Those who came back often spoke in riddles, all byproducts of a porous reality, one where belief and energy intertwine, where memory becomes landscape, where emotion becomes echo. As time passed, these stories gave birth to the first documented appearances of the Waldlichter strange lights that appear between the trees, especially during solstices and lunar eclipses. But even more curious is the forest's position on the planet. Modern occult researchers and mystics have long studied the concept of ley lines, invisible pathways of energy that crisscross the earth, connecting sites of power, the pyramids of Egypt, Stonehenge, the Nazca lines, Machu Picchu. Where these lines intersect, they say, energy is amplified. And the Schwarzwald sits on one such intersection, where no fewer than 4 ley lines converge. Coincidence? Or was the forest drawn here, anchored to a place where the veil between dimensions is thinner? Within the forest, there are stone circles buried beneath moss and monoliths inscribed with symbols that predate known languages. And then there are the Schattengeister, the shadow spirits. They have no form, no face. Yet countless witnesses describe them with the same feeling, a sudden pressure in the chest. Then, a presence, something watching. Some report seeing fleeting figures at the edge of their vision. There's a saying among villagers, if you hear your name in the forest, never reply. During the chaos of World War II, the forest became more than just a place of mystery. It became a target of interest. The SS, particularly its Ahnenerbe division, tasked with researching the supernatural. Declassified documents reveal operations involving the use of resonance chambers' massive steel constructs designed to generate ultra-low frequency waves. Strange symbols were carved into cave walls. Devices were installed to monitor magnetic fluctuations and gravitational anomalies. But then, the operation stopped. Suddenly, without warning, rumors spoke of an entire unit that vanished during a field test. To this day, those caves remain sealed. In recent decades, paranormal investigators, hikers, and skeptics have flocked to the forest. Some claim to see glowing runes etched into trees, visible only under moonlight, and always the feeling of being watched. Occult scholars believe that the forest may function as a mirror. It is said that the Black Forest reveals your truest fears. In this sense, the forest becomes a psychological labyrinth. Every path a descent into the self. Modern parapsychologists have conducted controlled experiments. These findings suggest that the forest may not just contain oddities, it may be an anomaly in and of itself. And if the forest reacts to thought, what happens when thought begins to reshape the forest? Some theorists believe this is exactly what has occurred. The disappearances, the strange lights, the entities. It's in this liminal space that we find the concept of portals. Some who disappear in the Black Forest may not be lost. They may have crossed over. And the forest, knowing this, protects the boundary, not to trap us, but to keep what's beyond from spilling into our world. After all these centuries, perhaps the most unsettling truth is not that the Black Forest hides something, but that it is something. A presence, a threshold, a test, a living, breathing organism, observing, waiting. And should you one day find yourself among its trees fog curling at your feet, silence louder than thought, and you hear a voice speak your name, do not answer. The forest has already seen you, and it never forgets.